Hello and welcome students once again. Statistics Part 1 Chapter number 2 Linear Correlation. In linear correlation we studied the different aspects. We begin it from in first video lecture I explain you the concept of linear correlation. What is correlation? As you all aware, when there is a cause and effect relationship between the two variables and the change in one variable affects simultaneously the change in another variable, then they both are correlated. And this correlation is in a linear way. It is called linear correlation. In linear correlation, after the concept of correlation, we studied the different types of correlation. That is positive correlation and negative correlation. The more different parts, in briefly I explain you powerful or highly positive correlation, partial positive correlation, perfect negative correlation, partial negative correlation and lack of correlation. Then we studied three different methods of linear correlation. The first method is scatter diagram method. The second method is Karl-Pearson's method of correlation coefficient. And third method that we studied is Professor Spearman's rate correlation method. Students, in last video lecture, I explained you the different types of short sums which are asked in linear correlation. Earlier we take the different long sums also which were asked in section F, like x minus x bar method, like xy method and UV method. After the big sums, we take some short sums from your exercise 2.2. From exercise 2.2, you all remember we take the different sums, that is page number 84, 85 of your textbook. That is exercise 2.2, and we take, in earlier video lecture, I explained with calculation sum number 12, sum number 13, sum number 14, both the sums are of sum number 14. Today we move towards the short sums practice. Please open your textbook, page number 85, exercise 2.2, sum number 15. Page number 85, exercise 2.2, sum number 15. Here it is on your board. They provide us sum number 15. Find the value of R, that is R means correlation coefficient, for the following data, particulars x and y. First they write average. Students, average means x bar and y bar. Sometimes they write mean, 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 or sometimes they write average. Average or mean means x bar and y bar. So here I write x bar is equals to 6060 and y bar is equals to 95. The second thing they provide us, students, interesting sum, because they give the question in different way, in different method, in theoretical aspect. We must remember the full name of any particular symbol of statistics. Then only we can able to solve this type of short sums. The sum of squares of deviations taken from their mean. Long sentence. The sum of squares of deviations taken from their mean. I explain you easily. First of all, the deviations taken from mean means x minus x bar, and if it is y, then y minus y bar. I repeat this, deviations taken from mean is x minus x bar, or if in y it is y in there, then y minus y bar. Now, sum of squares, square means square. So it is sigma x minus x bar square and sigma y minus y bar square. I repeat this, deviations taken from mean is x minus x bar, and if it is in y, then y minus y bar. It's sum so sigma, and square, so I add the square also. So sigma x minus x bar square and sigma y minus y bar square. So students, remember this, the sum of squares taken from mean, the sum of squares of deviations taken from their mean is x minus x bar square and y minus y bar square. X minus x bar square is 920, y minus y bar square is 1050. And the last thing they provide, that is the sum of product of deviations taken from their mean. How a big sentence. Deviations taken from mean is x minus x bar and y minus y bar. Their product means multiplication. So x minus x bar into y minus y bar, and their sum means sigma. So it is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar. I repeat this, deviations taken from mean, that is x minus x bar, y minus y bar. Their product means multiplication, and their sum, that is sigma. So sigma x minus x bar into y minus y. Now you all are able to do the sum yourself also. Just you have to put the values into the formula. R is equals to sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon into under root sigma x minus x bar square into second under root sigma y minus y bar square. Here we put the values. R is equals to sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar is given minus 545. Here it is upon into under root sigma x minus x bar square is 920. Sigma y minus y bar square is 1050. So minus 545 upon 920 multiply with 1050. The final answer is 966,000. 9,66,000. So minus 545. We have to find the under root of 966,000, and that under root comes 982.85. So minus 545 divided by 982.85, the final answer of correlation coefficient, that is R, is minus 0.55. So by putting the values into the formula, no additional column is required. We can easily able to solve this type of short sums. But I repeatedly give you instructions, students, read carefully the formulas. You all must remember the formulas properly. Then only you can able to do or able to solve the sum. Now the different short sums they provide us in illustration also. Now please open your page number 8080 of your textbook. Page number 80, sum number 14. Page number 8080, sum number 14. They provide us different 1, 2, 3, 4 sums. In this particular video lecture, I explain you the two different sums of sum number 14, page number 8080. The first sum, n is equals to 2020. Covariance xy they provide minus 5050. Sx is 1515 and sy is 8. Remember students, when covariance xy is provided in the sum, we wrote it into the list of formula also. The formula to find the correlation coefficient, that is R, is equals to covariance xy upon Sx into Sy. Covariance xy upon standard deviation of x into standard deviation of y. Here they provide us covariance xy ready. They provide Sx 15 ready. Sy is also ready, that is 8. just we have to put the values into the formula. R is equals to covariance xy upon sx into sy. So R is equals to minus 5050 minus 50 upon 1515 into 8 minus 50 upon 15 into 8, that is 120. Now minus 50 divided by 120, the final answer is minus 0.4167. So we can write minus 0.42. When covariance xy is given, simple formula, covariance xy upon sx into sy. Students, if you want to find the covariance xy, then the separate formula is also there to find the covariance xy. To find the covariance xy, the formula is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n. I repeat this, if covariance xy we want to find separately, only covariance xy, if the value of covariance xy is not provided and we want to find the value of covariance xy, then the formula for covariance xy is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n. That formula is also provided in your textbook list of formula, separate formula for covariance xy. Now, again, page number, next sum, we move towards next sum, that is page number 80 and 81 of your textbook, sum number 14. The question is n is equals to 10, here it is, sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar is equals to 6016. Variance of x is equals to 25. See, here they provide us variance. Variance means square. Sx square. And if the variance of y is there, then sy square. Remember, variance is the square of standard deviation. Standard deviation is SD, not Sanjay Dattani. It is standard deviation. Standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y. But the variance is the square of SD. So they provide us variance of x, that is sx square 25. So we require standard deviation. So we have to do under root of sx square. The under root of sx square is sx, that is 5. Sy square is 36. Again we required sy, standard deviation. So sy is equals to 6. Standard deviation of y is 6. Remember students, whenever they provide variance, properly read the question in the statistics. In the board's paper also, sometimes the clever or genius students do the simplest mistake or silly mistake because they are not able to read properly the question. They provide us variance, then we must have to convert the variance into SP. Or if they provide SP and sometimes we require variance, the difference of square and under root, we must remember it with name. So properly, you all do your attention. Now Sx is ready, Sy is ready. N is with us. Sigma x minus x bar and y minus y bar is there. The question arises, sir, which formula we have to apply? The simple. Two different formulas you wrote in the list of formulas specifically for short sums. The one of the formula from that particular short sums formula we have to apply here. The formula in this particular sum applicable is R is equals to sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n into sx into sy. Now friends, if you observe properly, sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n is actually the formula of covariance xy. See, this is actually covariance xy. As I explained you earlier, the formula of covariance xy is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n. So same covariance xy is directly not given, but sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n is provided. So we put the values sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n into sx into sy. Now sigma, the value of sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar is 60. N is 10. Then value of sx is 5 and value of sy is 6. R is equals to 60 upon multiplication of 6 into 5 into 10. 6 5s are 30 into 10, that is 300. 6060 divided by 300, the final answer is 0.2. So here, in short sums, without preparing any additional column, by remembering the formula, we can get the answer. Students, now you all are able to do the practice sums for yourself also. I would like to give you some of the homework to you. Write down page number 80, sum number 13. You can do yourself, simple. All the values are provided, x minus x bar into y minus y bar, sigma x minus x bar square, sigma y minus y bar square. Just you put the value into the formula of R, that is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon into under root sigma x minus x bar square into sigma y minus y bar square. You can also able to do sum number 3 of 14th sum, that is page number 80. See, number of observation 25, so n is equals to 25. Mean, as I explained you earlier, mean means average or mean, x bar and y bar. X bar is equals to 4040, y bar is equals to 5050. The sum of squares of deviation taken from mean, as I explained you in the sum exercise 2.2 sum. This is called sigma x minus x bar 120, sigma y minus y bar 160. The sum of product of deviations taken from mean, that is called sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar. And fourth sum also I give you to solve. In fourth sum, n is equals to 10, sigma xy 1500, mean of x bar, mean of y bar, SD of x, not Sanjay Dattani, standard deviation, sx 9, sy 5. Just put the values into the formula, and the formula is R is equals to sigma xy minus n into x bar into y bar upon n into sx into sy. Put the values into the formula. And last sum for your homework, that is page number 82, sum number 15. N is equals to 6, sigma x is equals to 58, sigma y is equals to 4040, sigma xy is equals to 431, sigma x square is equals to 606, sigma y square is equals to 316. We able to understood that here xy method is applicable. For sum number 15, page number 80, the method of formula for the method of xy is R is equals to n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y upon into under n sigma x square minus sigma x the whole square into second under n sigma y square minus sigma y the whole square. So students, after explaining all the short sums, I provide you 3, 4, 5 sums for your you have to do in books yourself also as a homework, as a part of homework. I am confident that you all are able to understand the short sums which are asked in linear correlation. Thanks for your cooperation. Here it is, the short sums of linear correlation with you. I explain you sum number 15 of 2.2. Here it is the sum, full sum, exercise 2.2, sum number 15. Then I explain you the sum number 14, that is page number 80. N is there, covariance xy is there, and I also explain the sum number 14, page number 80 and 81, sum number 2. Do the homework properly. Thanks for your cooperation. Thank you.